Welcome everyone, welcome to our first October meeting of the Rotary Club of Des Moines. Are you with me here? Welcome. I'm Becky Greenwald, President of the Rotary Club of Des Moines. You know, I always like to start our meetings up with just a little Rotary factoid because there's so much to learn about Rotary and I'm learning things all the time. So today, thinking about our district governor and Heidi who are here with us, I thought, well, we're going to learn more about districts, but who knows about Rotary zones? Former DGs know about that. But have you been paying attention? Because those were slightly realigned in 2020 because there's been some growth in Africa and Asia that we're adjusting for and a little more of the mature market here. So Rotary, with our over 46,000 Rotary clubs, and again, we're club number what? 27 out of 46,000 plus. Those clubs are organized into 545 districts. And those districts are then grouped into 34 zones. So that's how the structure is set up. And when they formed the club, the zones, they were looking at geography, but also taking language and culture and customs into consideration to help improve the enhancement of the collaboration success. And now each zone, they try to make them have roughly the same number of Rotarians in each of these 34 zones. And so that's why they realigned some things back in 2020. Because they wanted to keep 34 zones while we're adding so many new clubs in other parts of the world. But the reason that it's important to keep the 34 zones, I believe, I might have read into this, was that the governing board of directors for Rotary International is a 17-member organization, and they take the 34 zones and they pair each zone with another zone, and then two zones together elect the person that goes on to the International Rotary Board, one of the 17 members. So we are paired together with Zone 25, and we're part of Zone 29. So if that's not enough 20s for you, at Club 27, we're in Zone 29 and we're paired with 25. So there'll be a quiz in about 6 months. We'll see who remembers that. Okay. But at any rate, we are part of District 6000, and that's one of 16 districts that make up our zone number 29. And I have no clue how those zones were numbered, but I can tell you that we are in the same zone as the Chicago area, so that's where the mother club was started, and we're part of that zone, and somehow we're zone number 25. So just know that in case you're wondering, our partner zone now is zone 25, and that consists of South Texas clubs, Mexico, Central America, Colombia, Venezuela, and the Dominican Republic. So now you know the rest of the story. I'm going to have to pay tribute to Paul Harvey's foundation. Okay. So anyway, with that, I would like to turn it over to our past president, Skeet Wooten, who is going to give us a moment of inspiration, followed by the pledge and our four-way test. Now let Skeet have his drink while you give him his clap.
Thank you for that thunderous ovation. As I sat down to think about what I was going to try to offer today as an inspiration, it occurred to me that I often don't take enough time to sit alone and simply think in silence, go someplace where I can shut out all the distractions of the world. Think about family and friends, things at work, problems that we face in our world, for example. In my line of work, to be successful, we need to think in decades. But most people think in terms of what have you done for me lately. We spend too little time thinking critically about things that make much too much about time reacting to things. Social media is in many ways forced us into being reactionaries instead of visionaries. But thinking allows us to question what we see, hopefully objectively. Remember, the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. Here are a few thoughts on thinking. If everybody is thinking the same thing, nobody is thinking. General George Patton. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking that we use to create them. Albert Einstein said that. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason so few engage in it, in reforms. And Adlai Stevenson, when he was running for president, was approached by a woman after he gave a speech. And she said, "You'll certainly get the vote of the thinking persons," she told him. And he replied, "But madam, I need a majority." So my challenge to you today is to find a few minutes in your busy lives to go somewhere alone and block out all those daily distractions and simply think. I think you will be amazed at what you learn. With that, please rise and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the five-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun? Greet your fellow Rotarians. Nice to see you. Glad you're here.
Welcome. Pleasure. So glad you're here. Thank you. Jordan, pleasure.
Very nice to see you. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, sir.
All right, back in the saddle.
All right, everybody, we have several guests that we'd like to introduce today. So I'd like to ask our guests to please stand when I call your name, and then we'll applaud everyone all at once at the end. So Magdalene Apending, who's a visiting Rotarian from Accra, Ghana, and she's from a brand new district we were talking about earlier. She's the new district is 9104, newly created, so welcome. I want to introduce our assistant district governor, Jennifer Chittenden. She's been with us for 3 years in that role now, correct? Yep. And Jennifer is a past president of the Des Moines AM Club. Chris Coleman is here with the Better Business Bureau and Des Moines City Council candidate for Ward 1 and a guest of Katy County. Erna Moraine, past district governor, Waukee Rotarian and spouse of Steve Moraine. And also Joe and Jackie Stephen with Joppa, and they're the guests of our district governor, Heidi. So welcome, everyone. So now you know what time it is. It's tumbler time. So please consider donating $5 to the little cup on your table if you don't have the little green dollar sign on your name badge. And even if you do, you can always donate more money to our Rotary Club of Des Moines Foundation. And I always want to thank you for your continued support. And now, for the 1911 challenge. Remember, this is going on all year long. The forms are on the table. And there's a link in Tuesday's newsletter if you want to self-total your activities and see how many points you've gotten towards the 1,911 points that we're looking for this year. And I might just suggest that it would be a good time to check on how you're doing with those points racking them up since we just finished our first quarter of this Rotary year and see where you're doing. And next time I'll come with my points so you can see how you can beat me in the number of points that you've got versus me. And the key, I mean, you look at the numbers, bringing guests and getting new members, that's gonna get you a big number of points right away. So please take a look at that. Let's have some fun as we do things to help continue to grow and keep our Rotarians engaged and happy. Okay, let's see here. Where in the world is Club 27? We've been a lot of places, so these little where in the world signs are getting around. And what we've got is Skeet blew in from Bermuda. Of course, he goes there all the time each year, but you had to go while there was a hurricane within 150 miles? Okay, well, glad you came back. So Skeet was in Bermuda. Jamie Boersma has been in Iceland, where she visited Diamond Beach, and we're looking at Vatna Glacier, which is the largest glacier in Europe. So that looks like a wonderful trip. Carl Schilling, look at you, in Erie Canal, New York, with the reunion of the Vietnam Seabees. And then you and Peg stopped by to the International Tea Leaf Ironstone Collectors Convention in Findlay, Ohio. So our Rotarians get around. We love to see that. When you're going someplace or doing something fun locally, be sure to pick up a little Rotary Club on a stick or without a stick from Kitty, and let us know what's happening so we can share in your fun. So thanks to the four of you for getting back with us on your travels. And of course, our Community Service Committee is busy again this month, and I want to invite Ann Starr, with the Community Service Committee member, to come forward with an announcement. Ann, come on in.
Well, Club 27, I'm back this week talking about Coats for Kids. On your table, there's an Operation Warm flyer, and then there's also a sign-up sheet if you are interested in supporting kids with a new winter coat. So one of the things that Orchard Place, which is where I serve, is a need for kids that don't have enough at home to be able to afford new things like coats for winter. And we do a school backpack drive in the summer for kids when they're going back to school. We do a holiday drive, and we do this coat drive, and we're honored to say that you're our partner in that. And with the dollars that we raise here, we are also able to take those and leverage some additional giving from other donors. So your gift goes even further, because you're doing the coat piece, and then our other donors come in and they do the hats and the coats, or the gloves and the boots, all of which is important for a kid if they need those in the wintertime. So one of the things I also want to say to you is, why Orchard Place? Like, why are we doing this? So we serve about 7,000 children and families a year with mental health services. Of those 7,000 kids, about 85% of them are in poverty. They qualify for the state and federal health plan, which is called Medicaid. So they don't have a lot. And coats, things like coats, are really essential to kids to be able to go out and be kids, and for their self-esteem, right, and for their overall health. And what we want is parents to be able to focus on those things like the kids' health care, right, and keeping their family together and whole, and not to have to worry about things like new winter coats, school backpacks, and so forth. So we are addressing those kinds of things for our families so that they can really focus in on the things that are really important to them, like their children's mental health and recovery. So when you donate to this, you are really allowing that family, right, to have that much needed resource and not to have to worry about that for the winter. So it's a really powerful thing to do for those families. And I will tell you, kids, when they open the coats, this is from staff, I don't get to be there when the kids open the coats, but they come in a lovely package. There's a Rotary card inside so they know where it comes from. They've got a hat, they've got gloves, and they've got boots, and the kids literally cry. you know, it's a wonderful thing. They are very, very important to those kids. So I'm gonna ask you to sign up. Some of you did last week. We raised $2,040 last week, and that leaves us shy of 219 coats. So what we still need is, if my math is right, and you know, I'm a social worker, not an accountant, so somebody out there double check me, but 219 times 25 a coat, $2,975. So we did a considerable chunk last week, and we need to do more again this week, so that those other 219 kids have a coat as well as that first 81. I also want to point out something really wonderful. In the October edition of the Rotary magazine, I am happy to say that mental health, the president of Rotary, the international president, has highlighted mental health on the inside cover and the importance of mental health treatment, and also on the back. And so this is something that the Rotary clubs, he's encouraging us all to take on the challenge of finding something to do that's meaningful in the mental health space. And I think that's a wonderful idea, and would love to engage maybe our community service members around that. And I will give a plug for Community Service Committee. It's a good committee. If you're looking for a committee, join it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ann, and thanks for all who've already donated to help buy those coats. And now it's my honor to introduce our program today. Our special guests are District 6000 Governor Dennis Drager and Heidi Drager. Dennis was raised on the family farm near Tipton, Iowa. And after high school, he enlisted in the Air Force, and after 4 years of service, he went to Iowa State and graduated from the veterinary school in 1985. Dennis practiced in Illinois and Wisconsin for a couple of years before moving to Marshalltown. And now, following his 36-year career, he's semi-retired to follow his next passion in life, service to others. And it's evident whenever you meet Dennis and Heidi, you just know that's what they're so much about. Dennis now also works part-time doing some specialized knee surgeries, but I'm thinking you focus just on our furry friends, and not the two-legged, okay, just checking. Dennis joined Rotary in 2000. He served his Marshalltown Rotary Club on several committees. His passion for Rotary has been the service that clubs provide, both locally and abroad. And one of the Dragers' best Rotary experience was the full year that they hosted Daniel, an international exchange student from Brazil. Heidi is from Marshalltown, close to where I grew up. That's where we had to go for groceries and movies and dates. So I knew Marshalltown pretty well. But Heidi joined Rotary, as she said, early in 2021, when Dennis was nominated to serve as district governor. And she's part of the team that started the Marshalltown Evening Rotary Extension. Heidi's worked many years in the animal industry, with 5 years as the executive director of the Marshalltown Animal Rescue League. And Heidi now works as a charter representative for Allegiant Airlines. And that helps the Dragers fulfill their love of travel. That's a pretty good plan. Their son, Jason, lives in Clive with his wife and 2 granddaughters, which those granddaughters are 2 daughters, and those 2 granddaughters are the primary reason why the Dragers now live in Urbandale, which is much closer than being an hour away in Marshalltown. So it's my honor to present Rotary District 6000 Governor Dennis Drager. Please stand as we welcome Dennis.
So I want to say a couple things. We have been to this club 2 or 3 times. Every time we felt very welcomed, and we appreciate that very much. The 2 social events that we have been able to come and join you with have been a lot of fun. So It is truly just a fun experience when we get to come. I see a lot of familiar faces. You know, there's only one in the audience that makes me nervous. And it might be a past history governor, you know. We can Anyway, we're looking forward to today. So the way we will do this, Heidi, we kind of tag team this. Heidi has a couple things that we will go through as far as some initiatives within the district. And then I will do a little presentation. And then we will, of course, take questions and answers. And at the end, we will have just a couple of very quick, fun little things to do. So.
Alrighty, first of all, thank you for such a warm reception here, and we do enjoy visiting this club, so thank you. I want to direct you to the slideshow. First, we want to make sure that everybody has on their calendar that our district celebration will be held on April 20th, 2024 in Pella. The selection of Pella was based on it is the absolute central point of our district, and we think we found kind of a cool venue to host the event that we're putting together. So please consider joining us on April 20th. It'll be held at the Pella Opera House, and we're lining up some great speakers, some great entertainment. But the really cool thing is we're going to do the first annual, hopefully annual, 4-way test speech contest for high school students. So what we want to put on your radar at this point is to be thinking about somebody within your club that can work with the school systems to promote a club-sponsored 4-way test speech contest. The winner from your club would then funnel up to a regional competition, and they continue until we end up with 6 to 8 finalists that will present their product at the Pella Opera House in April. So we're really looking forward to seeing what that turns out to be and see what that looks like. So any questions, come see me or be watching for a little bit more information to come out very soon. All right, on your tables is a little stuffed character. If you notice, they're called the Zoo of Love. These are Rotary branded and Polio Now branded and named and tagged, and they're for sale. So those are $40 a piece. $30 of that goes towards Polio Plus in the donor's name, and then the other 10 covers the cost of the little stuffed animal. The thing that I love about this idea is, first of all, you have the polio donation, but then you could consider, if you don't have little people in your life or don't want to collect these yourself, you can gift them to an organization that works with children in crisis. Maybe we heard about one. And it's a great way to give a little bit of a comfort to a child during a difficult time. So consider that. We have a car full of them, so don't worry. If you want to buy some, come see me. And that was supposed to be out of there. All right. Also, tying back into that mental health talk, yes, Gordon McAnally, our Rotary International president this year.
Gordon McAnally.
we took Matt's idea. Gordon goes to all of our club visits with us. So he is passionate about mental health. He had a brother that committed suicide, so it is personal for him, and it is a passion and a mission for him to use his position within Rotary to advance mental wellness throughout the world. What we know in the U.S. is we do not have a strong mental health system. We've never had a strong mental health system. We need to work on building that up. So what we've done in District 6000, there's a Rotary Action Group called for Mental Health Initiatives. That's a global group. Here in District 6000, we have created the District 6000 chapter of the REG Mental Health Initiatives. And what that group is doing is they're talking about ways that the community can create some solutions, can bring initiatives that are club level, community level ideas, ways that we can start creating some solutions. If you want more information about that, if mental health is a passion of yours, definitely come see me. I have membership information, and we're looking to do some speaker event and bring some more ideas out to you guys. So that is very, very new and rolling out as we speak. So again, come see me if you have questions about that. And when we talk about mental health, which was also touched on, the point of this slide, we invited Joe and Jackie today because we we really like working with JAPA and any organization that has a touch for underserved, homeless, anything like that. The point of this slide is that if somebody is homeless, they're 9 times more likely to commit suicide than those of us with a secure place to go home to at night. That's a compelling number to me. That is a huge number. And if we talk about mental health, we need to consider all of the stressors that people are living under and ways that we can help to solve those. So Dennis and I also have a passion about working with homeless, and he will share a couple of stories about that, I think.
I will try. This sometimes gets hard. So we realized what our real passion was. It took us to get knocked in the head a couple times for us to figure this out. First was probably 4 or 5 years ago. We happened to be downtown Des Moines, driving down 235 with our young granddaughter. At that time, I think she was 5 or 6. We exited off of the interstate, coming up, and at the top of the ramp was someone with a sign asking for help. So we try and intentionally don't make eye contact, just try and get around the corner, and as we're going around the corner, our granddaughter notices this individual, and she says to us, she asks, what's this individual doing there? And so, how do you answer a 5-year-old that question? And ultimately we said, well, they're asking for help. And her question to us was, so why did we help? There's no good question to answer to that. So we think, oh, what an opportune time to show her some compassion. So we go back down 235, get off, come back around, and we, meantime, giving her some dollars to hand out the window to this individual. By the time we got back there, that individual had moved on. So we kind of missed that opportunity. We thought to open her eyes up to compassion, but what she did was open our eyes up. A couple years ago, we were at Rotary training, and one of the speakers was an individual that talked about mental health crisis. His job was working with police department. We all know that police are overworked, they have a tough job, and they're not always trained or equipped to be able to deal with people in a mental health crisis. His job was to work alongside the police department on those calls. So a wonderful program. We were very inspired by this. We happened to run into him in our hotel as we're walking down the hall to our room, and had a good conversation and thanked him for his time and what he does. He tells us another story about a time he was traveling in San Francisco, where we all know there is a large homeless population. He noticed an individual that wasn't acting quite right, just seemed odd, doing things that were strange, and he intentionally walked up to this individual and said, "How are you doing?" To this traveler's surprise, this individual broke down crying. And with his training, he was able to assist this person at that time and get him under control. He says, well, how are you doing? What's going on? Recognizing that this individual is having some issues at that time. The individual said to him, "You can see me. You can really see me." And the traveler had to convince him that, yes, you're right here. What can I do to help you? And he was, with his training, able to help this individual. What he learned from this individual was he had begun to believe he was invisible. because no one had talked to him, no one had acknowledged him as he was in his struggles in his life at that time. So those two stories with other things and our have kind of defined where we feel our service, Heidi's and my service, needs to be focused. So we invited Joe and Jackie here today because we do some work with JAPA. They do a wonderful thing. There are many, many organizations within the metro and across the state that do a good job in trying to assist those in need. It has become personal to us, and we support in any way that we can support that. Our ask with this slide up there is that you consider as a club what you can do to support an organization that deals with those in need. And we want you to be intentional, and when you run across a situation like that, treat those individuals as you would like to be treated. Treat them with respect. Try not to judge. Sometimes we think, well, if they would just go get a job, they'd be fine, you know. And it's not, we don't know what put them in that circumstance, and we try not to judge what put them in and make those judgments based on what they need right now. How they got there doesn't matter to us, and we think it's important that as we can, we help. Whether that's just a friendly word or some other way to help, but our ask is that clubs assist an organization within your community that helps those people in need. All right. Sorry, my technology timed out on me there. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I consider to be a powerful tool that has the potential to transform and shape our interactions with others. It is a compass that can guide us in making decisions that are honest, fair, and beneficial to all. I am, of course, talking about the four-way test. A profound philosophy rooted in truth, fairness, goodwill, and friendship. The four-way test, as many of you know, was created by Herb Taylor, a Rotarian. He created this as a measuring stick of ethics. Interestingly, before launching the concept at his business, he placed a note card on his desk with the four-way test to test himself. He quickly became very frustrated with this test. He almost threw it out because of the so many untruths that crossed his desk. The four-way test begins with the simple but important phrase, of the things we think, say, or do. So, of the thoughts and words and actions that occupy our minds and shape our lives, it is essential to recognize the profound impact they have on our overall well-being and the world around us. Every thought we have, every word we say, and every action we undertake holds the potential to shape our reality and influence the lives of those we encounter. Visualize thoughts as the seeds of our intentions and beliefs. They possess an incredible power to shape our perception of the world. They are the building blocks of our emotions, attitudes, and ultimately our actions. Whether positive or negative, our thoughts have the ability to create a ripple effect, influencing our mood, behavior, and interactions. By cultivating a mindful awareness of our thoughts, we can harness their potential to manifest positive outcomes. The words we choose to express ourselves hold immense significance. They possess the power to inspire, uplift, and connect us with others. Our words can be a source of comfort, encouragement, motivation, or they can inflict wounds that linger long after being spoken. By choosing our words carefully, we can foster understanding, empathy, and unity, creating a world where communication can create hope. Actions are the driving force behind our impact on the world. Every action we take has the potential to create an effect that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. Whether it is a simple act of kindness, a charitable endeavor, or a commitment to sustainable living, our actions shape the world we inhabit and leave a lasting legacy for future generations. In essence, our thoughts, our words, and our actions are the tools we use to navigate our existence and leave our mark on the world. By recognizing the profound influence of these elements, we can strive to align them with our values, aspirations, and the greater good, creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and positive impact. As we consider the questions of the four-way test, we must be aware of our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Truth. Truth is not just a mere collection of facts. Truth is the foundation upon which trust is built. Without trust, relationships crumble. Oscar Wilde said the truth is rarely pure and never simple. Consider your personal political views, your religion, your family life, all the perspectives that shape and mold you. You and I may have many similar experiences. Maybe we grew up in a small Iowa town. Maybe we drive the same make of vehicle, and maybe we believe the same things. Because we have different experiences and perspectives, our truths may not be the same. In a world inundated with misinformation, embracing truth becomes all the more critical. By asking ourselves, is it the truth? We ensure that our words and actions are rooted in honesty, allowing us to establish a strong and authentic bond with others. Is it fair to all concerned? Fairness is a principle that resonates within all of us. It is the pursuit of justice, impartiality, and equity. Fairness requires us to examine our choices through an objective lens and assess their impact on others. Fairness and equality aren't the same thing. While equality of opportunity is a cornerstone of fairness, it rarely exists. Living in America provides opportunities denied to so many in the world. Creating equality of opportunity is about raising opportunity for those with little or none. Rotary service is largely about raising opportunities for those at the bottom through projects aligned within Rotary's 7 areas of focus, such as polio eradication, literacy projects, providing clean water. Beyond truth and fairness lies goodwill, the genuine desire to do good and make a positive difference in the lives of others. Goodwill encompasses empathy, kindness, and compassion. It is the driving force behind acts of service and the cultivation of a harmonious society. Think of integrity as the father of goodwill and its reputation as its mother. As Warren Buffett noted, it takes 20 years to build a reputation. It takes 5 minutes to ruin it. Unlike other assets, goodwill cannot be insured. The only way to retain it is to keep building it. How do we build goodwill? The answer is the Rotary motto, service above self. So when we ask ourselves, will it build goodwill and better friendships? We ensure that our actions are not driven by self-interest alone, but also by genuine concern for the well-being of others. Friendship, a precious bond that connects us as human beings. It is built upon trust, shared experiences, mutual respect. Friendship enriches our lives and fosters a sense of belonging and unity. By contemplating the question, will it be beneficial to all concerned? We recognize that our choices should not only serve our personal interests, but also contribute positively to the lives of those around us. Through friendship, we forge stronger communities and inspire one another to reach greater heights. The four-way test serves as a guide in both personal and professional settings. It encourages us to pause and reflect on the impact of our choices. By incorporating truth, fairness, goodwill, and friendship into our decision-making process, we can build a world where trust thrives, justice prevails, kindness abounds, and meaningful connections are forged. Back to Herb Taylor. He obviously didn't throw the test away. Through his strong leadership and the application of the four-way test, he was able to correct the business problems that plagued his company. He learned an interesting fact. He found that you cannot constantly apply the four-way test to all your relations within business without getting into the habit of doing it in your home, your social, and your community life. You thus become a better parent, a better friend, and a better citizen. So please remember, our primary focus this year is service. It is my belief that within Rotary, you can find something that will spark your passion for service. There are so many great and worthy projects. I ask that you look around and choose something that you care about. It is our hope that you will use this message to find ways to create hope in your community, within District 6000, and across the world. We want to take this opportunity to thank you for what you do with your Rotary service. I would like to share one of my favorite quotes, which is, "Service is the rent you pay for your room on earth." It is our belief that we have a moral obligation to help those in need without judgment or agenda. Thank you. Oh, I have a quick presentation to your club president, if she could. This will take a minute.
Okay. This is unscripted.
Yes, so we'll pretend this is my gift. We forgot her gift in the car. So I'll show you in a second what they are. So it is our belief that at the base of every good organization, there's a solid foundation. it is my belief that the club's foundation begins at the top with the president. So, in order to support your club's foundation, it is my belief that the foundation of people is their feet. So my presentation to the club presidents this year is a pair of Rotary socks. Like that. So, they're in the club.
Okay. I'll be sure to collect.
All right. So, that is my gift to my AGs and my club presidents this year for the service that they provide to their clubs and to District 6000. So, and now, if we have time to do a selfie, we want to do a quick selfie. And
53.
if we have time.
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do a quick selfie with Gordon here. And I think we'll do this two ways. We'll do one this way and we'll do one this way. And Heidi doesn't let me do that because the two club visits that she was not able to go with me, and I tried to take a selfie. I got everyone in the room with the top of my head. So,
Really from here up.
Right.
All right, so we're just gonna, and this is Gordon. All right, everybody smile. Go this way. And this way. Come over here, Dennis. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna ask everyone to stand up for a second. We're gonna play a quick game of heads or tails with a prize for the winner.
Alright, so everybody stand up, put your hand on your head if you think it will be heads, hands on your rear if you think it will be tails. Dennis will try to successfully flip this coin.
This is not like a quarter.
Alright, if you have tails, stay standing. If you have heads, go ahead and sit down, and we will do that again. Go ahead and select heads or tails if you're still standing. And it's heads. If you have heads, stay standing. Tails should sit down, and go ahead and select again if you're still standing. And it's heads. Down to 3. All right, select again. We had one club that this was done in two tosses. It was amazing. And there were more than 3 people in there. There were quite a few people. And it is heads, and we have a winner.
Thank you. Again, we've always felt very welcomed here. We appreciate that. A fun club. We'd love to join you on your socials, and maybe we'll see at some. I hear once in a while you go to a brewery, so we'll definitely try and make one of those. But thank you.
Stand and we skip the Heidi and our district great round of applause. Again, thank you, Dennis and Heidi, for your presentation and for all the wonderful service that you are giving to Rotary. You're truly the 4-way test in action, so thank you. As a token of our appreciation, we've donated a book in your honor to the Des Moines Public Library, and your book will be part of the Rotary Rosie Reader Van collection. Our club donated $40,000 to the Des Moines Public Library Foundation to purchase that van back in 2020. So we've got a van on wheels and another book to add. So now I'd like to share upcoming events. So in addition to our every Thursday at noon meeting, we promise to have at least 2 additional opportunities each month to meet up with each other. You've got information on your table and by the name badge boxes about what's upcoming. This month, it's time for Second Chance Tuesdays again. Second Chance Tuesdays will take place every month on the second Tuesday of the month. We'll be back at Big Grove on October 10th, that's next Tuesday, and we invite you to stop by and join us. The fellowship and fun is free, and the beer and food is on your own. So Second Chance Tuesday, see you there. On October 20th, this is exciting, make a note of our ribbon cutting for our 2022 $40,000 community grant recipient, the Greater Des Moines Botanical Garden Nature Play Area. It's going to be on Friday morning, October 20th, from 9 to 10 a.m. There'll be coffee and light morning snacks, and RSVPs for this event go to Kitty, so we can plan on who will be there. And if you have children in your life, or children of whatever ages, you're welcome to bring them along. It'd be so fun to see some children trying out some of that new equipment that we help bring possible. So remember, October 20th, Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. And then on Saturday, October 28th, you likely heard Rich Leopold the last 2 weeks asking for volunteers with the Trunk or Trees event. Again, this is a community service committee volunteer opportunity. The time commitment is 9:45 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. at the Botanical Garden. And sign up is in the lobby, or you can email the Rotary Club of Des Moines office. So let's talk about our upcoming speakers and what we have in store for the rest of this month. Remember that you and your guests are always invited to attend. We'd like to know with the RSVP by 9 a.m. We encourage you to bring guests, but just remember that you cannot register those guests online. You do need to go through Kitty so that we know our guest is coming and we can be prepared. So on October 20th, next week, Mike O'Donnell with Iowa State University's Center for Industrial Research and Services, CIRRUS. And then on on October 19th, Scott Marler, who's the director of the Iowa Department of Transportation. In October 26th, we'll have our own Sue Woody, director of the Des Moines Public Library and a Rotary Club of Des Moines member and chair of our current Community Service Committee. So, I want to thank you all for being here today and being such a vital part of the Club 27, where we mean business. And until we meet again, let's get out there and have fun and do good in the name of Rotary. And we are adjourned.